everyone, we're going to draw some feet today. I'm working on Royal Talens warm toned paper. I'm not very sure how it works with pastel, but we'll give it a go. And just like everything else, let's start finding the gesture. I'm going to try to fit in the 2 feet in this page, so I'm not going to be drawing them super big. And then if I can, I might come in with a lighter tone pastel to grab some highlights. Now, I wouldn't say I'm super confident in drawing feet, but I just feel okay drawing anything that I can see, as long as I stick to the basics and try to just break down everything. Yeah, this is just like a strange shape at the moment, but it is also the shape of what the foot is. So let's see, we just need to break this down into light and dark as well. Like, we know that this side is getting most of the light, so I'll block that in there, knowing that this is the big highlight area. So in my head, will I just mark this all down as being in the darkness? I suppose I could. So I don't like this shape anymore, so let's change that up. There you go, it's a bit better, I think. I will also start just marking out some forms for myself, start feeling my way around. It's the problem with pictures is that it's kind of hard to understand how three-dimensional something is and how hard like a form comes out. You can use a light in the photo obviously to work with, but it's never as good as just seeing it with your eye. I really encourage everyone to draw from life as much as they can. I always really enjoy the opportunity to do it. I feel like I get so much out of it when I can do it. Let's start refining the shape over here. Bring that in. The knuckles of the feet popping in. I actually haven't drawn any toes yet, but I've gotten the idea of where I want the toes to be. Now let's start. Let me see, I have like a bit of light pastel here. Just want to see how hard it comes out on. Why is that not coming on at all? That's a bit better. Oh, that's a bit bright. Okay, yeah, maybe we can. Okay, I'll use this. Since I have 2 tones to work with, I'll use this as like my very darks. I'll use the paper as the mid-tone, and I'll use the lighter pastel as like the highlights. Or the brightest brights, I suppose. But how do I want to break down these darks? Let me see. I'm gonna go throw down these marks with the form as much as I can. Actually, I want more sideways. Yeah, it's better. The light is a bit strange. I think there's like dual lighting going on, or I know it's mostly coming from one side, but maybe it's just not strong. Or I'm getting a lot of reflective light in this, I think. So maybe I don't need to do as much as I think I do to get the idea of this form down. And maybe I can come in with the eraser to push things away. I could even try to design some of my own shadows. Because I can see myself maybe using too much at the moment. I'm losing some of my form. But let's start throwing in the smaller details now. We can design the rest later. So if I'm going to leave that like that, let's maybe clean up with the eraser just a little bit. Now the thing I need to think about is I can't really get in that reflected shadow with the method I'm working with, unless I come in with the pastel and I do even darker darks. Like if I do this overall, hopefully it shows up on the video quite well, but if I mark everything in as a slightly darker tone than the paper, then I can use the paper as my reflective light on the form that I see. Like, I mean, it's not absolutely necessary for me to do this, you know, it depends how far you want to go with your drawing. But I thought I'd give it a go. The idea was in my head. Yeah, I don't want loads of it, and maybe this is also too dark. I still have some of the pastel showing through in areas. Alright, I think we can... Actually, let me erase some on this side where the highlights are going to be. And then we can go in with our highlight, our lighter pastel to design some more. Unfortunately, I only have like a little stick of it because every time I try to sharpen the pastel pencil, it broke off. So that must mean that I dropped that pastel pencil and it's never going to be pairable again. Not really, anyway. I'm just going to see in which part it can actually draw it. Oh, I see there's a lot of wood in this. Let me see if I can fix this now. Without taking my fingers off would be a bonus. You know what, maybe instead of using a knife, I'll use some sandpaper. There we go. Now I should be able to get some down. Still not going down greatly, but I think I can work with it for now. It'll make me do some interesting strokes, I suppose. More thinking about the blocky nature of everything. Won't be able to get too detailed with this one. There we go. And then on this side too. How can I get small with this? Let me see if I can. Not super small. Maybe I can just put in like the stronger highlights though around. See what that can do for me. A little bit here. I think the drawing of this has gone a little bit. I'm gonna fix some. That's a bit of a straighter turn than what I've got down. It's not too bad. Or maybe it curves in a little bit more. That's my problem. Again, I'm a little limited by my tools today. I need to obviously buy some new pastel pencils. Alright, let me just see if I can do anything more with this one before I can move on to the next foot. I think I've lost a little bit of movement going on. Okay, and we'll get the eraser. Yeah, I think we're overworking it. The thing with pastel is that, you know, you put one on top of the other and then it all starts to blend on top of each other. Just certain papers where that works better than others. Like this isn't pastel paper. But you work with what you got. Alright, we'll go on to the next foot. See what we can do. Well, I'll also clean this up a little bit. And I think there's more of a curve than what I've drawn in here, right? Anyway, right, we'll throw in the next foot just quickly. So let's think about how far away it is in space. It's also just this big triangle shape that we've got going on. So just follow that gesture onto the heel. The leg has got a slight curve upwards there. Fairly simple shape on this one. I'm not really going to think about this as a big composition, so I'll just draw as I see it. Again, just flowing around, feeling out what my eyes see. I'm not sure if I'd use this paper again for pastel. Well, it's okay for the sketches. Just having a toned paper is just always quite nice. But it's definitely not for, you know, complete stuff. More for sketches. we'll do the same thing again. We'll just put a tone throughout this one. And again, I'm kind of using the tone. I'm still putting this tone down in like the movement of the actual form as much as I could, like the big idea of the movement of the form. Maybe we'll do a bit better there. Okay, and we'll get some of those lighter tones in the darks. And this one's going to be more about the lighter pastel. See again what we can do with this. Think about the big ideas, because that's the only thing we can work with at the moment. Where's the hitting the light the most? Probably this. The light's kind of going drifting off as it comes upwards, away. And now we don't have a lot of information here that we've drawn, so let's try sort that out a little bit. We're not going to go too crazy with it. Maybe I can just get some of that shadow in. That would probably help make the whole drawing sit a bit more. Yeah, we'll throw that shadow in just to see how it helps. Maybe also over here. Yeah, okay. I'm alright with how these turned out. Just as a quick sketch of some feet. I can definitely maybe play with the gesture a bit more of a lot of these forms, just to make them feel a bit more fleshy, you know. But overall, not the worst thing I've done. And I do enjoy drawing, like, just body parts in general. I think you always get a little bit out of it, eh? Maybe I can start doing some harder edges with the water pastel, actually. I don't just have to constrain myself to that lighter one. If I want to put a hard edge somewhere, like maybe where it's a quite big bone, or where a form turns quickly, it can help me describe some things. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Every time I say I'll leave it, I end up drawing it a little bit more. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along.